What is going on, guys, and welcome to a new video. And today we are here as Esteban Ocon at Bahrain, where he got his first ever F1 podium. And I thought, let's do a last to first challenge. Why not? I've seen a few other people doing them. I was like, let me just do it myself. So something you guys aren't used to, but yeah, why not really? So here we are, 5 lights, and finally the lights are out, and we get a pretty poor start to begin with, but then the AI do their little bog down thing. So we want to make up some positions into turn 1. We make up a few as the AI do their usual thing, follow the racing line, but then we don't want to lose any of our front wingers. We do make a tiny bit of contact, and then Leclerc just completely barges us off the road, so we've got to go off the road, go offline, and we lose a few more positions. So we gained quite a few positions, then lost a few again because of that, because of the AI, but hopefully after the first few corners they'll get their act together. And yeah, so I thought I'd try this because why not, really? It's content, and I need to be producing some content, really. But yeah, I thought it'd be a cool thing to do. Esteban Ocon got his first podium here. Let's do it. As we get past Kvyat, who tries hanging around the outside. There's a little bit of contact, but we do get the job done. We do start on the medium compound tyre because that's the only way we're going to get anywhere near the front of the grid in this 25% race in the Renault. It's not an equal cars, nothing like that, so we're in the Renault. We've got to try match it with the big boys, with the Red Bulls, with the Mercedes, which is going to be very hard to do as we get our first warning, silly warning straight away. So we've got to make sure we don't pick up any more of them, otherwise we'll be heading well, we won't be heading to the stewards room. We'll be just getting slapped a time penalty as Russell. You can just see how slow the Williams is. It was slow in the straight line, and through the corners it's really holding us up, and you get a massive oversteer moment going off the track. But yeah, this move's going to be quite easy on the Williams. Used a bit of our overtake, and into turn 1 on the brakes we get the position nice and easily. I didn't notice, I've only noticed this recently since coming back to making videos. The downshifts of these F1 cars, I don't know if it's just the Renault listening to this, but they sound so nice. Like it's something you don't necessarily notice beforehand, but yeah, it's actually quite a nice detail from Codemasters, so props to them for that. But yeah, I'm not going to say anything cliche like, oh yeah, focus on other things. Just a nice thing. So yeah, we get that position and we're up into P13, and if we want to get a podium, maybe I'd say we aim for a podium, even though it's a last at first challenge. So I'd say a podium would be a good result. We've got to start making these positions soon, and as we are on the medium compound tyre, we do have an extra disadvantage just in terms of grip on these first few laps. So it's going to be interesting to see if we can catch these guys, overtake them, which hopefully we should be able to as we're going green, obviously, on lap 2. But we are kind of struggling these first few laps. I've just loaded up a random setup and tweaked it on the grid. Obviously I don't have the most up-to-date setups because I haven't played for the last 6 months, but they shouldn't be that different. So yeah, it should work, but it's a little bit twitchy, let's call it. So DRS is finally enabled, which will definitely help us, as well, the AI are often quick in the straight line, so that will help. And one thing I've noticed straight away is, well, I noticed while driving, I am very good on the brakes into turn 1 compared to the AI, which on 2019 it was the complete opposite. They were very good on the brakes, but I don't know what it was. I just felt really good on them. I don't know if it's anything to do with now the minimum pressure is 100% brake pressure. I don't know if that's got anything to do with it, but I felt really confident on the brake pedal just in general compared to the AI. Not so much on the acceleration. As I said, it's a bit of a slippery setup. But yeah, like I don't know. The braking also could be down to my setup. We've got quite a bit of rear wing on, so yeah, that would obviously help for downforce. As we can't really find a way past Leclerc at the moment, so we're gonna have to wait for the end of this lap. So we're still struggling for traction, but he was also struggling a little bit from what it looked like. So he defends to the inside. We're going for the move. We're using a lot of overtake, and we brake very late, and we see Norris there, and we've got to go to the inside, otherwise we would have hit him. And I think Leclerc was still up our inside when that happened, so he was still on our inside while we were on Norris's inside. So a cleanish move, the cleanest thing we probably could have done there in that situation. But yeah, we effectively passed 2 cars in one straight, which is very good. So now on the next lap, we've caught up to Carlos Sainz, and knowing how easily we outbroke Norris, I thought, I'm far back here, but I'm going to try it. And because the AI are in traffic, they're braking. I think it's because they're in traffic. They're braking a bit early, and we can just sail at the inside a couple of them. So as you saw there, the rear end was really out of shape. So that just backs up the fact that we haven't really got a rear end. We're quite good in the straight line, even while having quite a bit of rear aero, I thought. So I've messed up the setup somehow, because I've got quite a bit of rear aero, but I'm still quick in the straight line as we go for it very late on Albon and get the position as the 2 cars in front of batting. So we really lose the rear end there. So yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm running quite sensitive rear end in terms of rear ride height, low rear ride height. That will give us extra straight line speed, but also really unstables the car. So yeah, that's basically what's happened, which isn't great. But we do move up into P9, and we do have the advantage now of our tyres are probably in a tiny bit better shape, and we can go straight onto the soft compound tyre, which is going to be the best thing about this whole strategy. Is at the end of the race we'll be on the soft tyre, hopefully closing down the leaders, hopefully. So going on to the back straight, we are quite close to Gasly, and we'd like to get this position done, well, overtake done soon, but I don't really want to be battling too hard in this section of the track, mainly because you're just going to lose so much time. But Gasly is going so slow, I'm thinking about just sending it here, and we do. Straight up the inside, into P8. And now we've got our sights set on Vettel. Vettel actually in front of Leclerc. That's a little unrealistic for the 2020 season, but yeah, it's only a game. So anyway, I did tell Jeff to pit that lap, and I was just going to see if my teammate pitted or not, and he did. So go on another lap, that's fine. Can we get his position done on Vettel? We're going to brake very late, going to release the brakes a little bit to get alongside, and we are through. Now into P4, we've got a 4-second gap to Stroll ahead, and we get our second warning. Again, the traction there was pretty shocking. And this lap we're going to come in because we want as many laps as we can on the soft tyre. Maybe this was 1 lap too early because my tyres were good, but I just didn't want the AI to get any sort of undercut on me. So just come straight back in after our teammate, get the soft tyres on, and go. Just try to put some hot laps in. We've got, I believe, 2 or 3 cars ahead of us until the Mercedes is and Verstappen. Obviously Albon in the mid-pack, so that's at least quite realistic from the game. Yeah, I believe it's Perez and Stroll, then it's the Mercedes. So our teammate looks like he was going to get past us. So I broke very late, which has actually allowed him to get a bit of a switch back, but we do just keep the position. And I think Cyril was on the team radio telling him Ocon is on the faster tyre, don't battle, as he didn't really go for a move there at all. So that's nice. We've got a 3.5-second gap to Stroll ahead, which, I mean, we've got 1.2 seconds by the end of the lap, which is quite good, doing a purple last sector, and I believe this is my fastest lap of the race. So yeah, I'll run you through it. Braking very late, just before the 100-metre board, going a little bit deep, but that's not too bad. You kind of afford to do that as long as you rotate it well. Nice traction through there for once, using a bit of overtake in the acceleration zone to just get the benefit of the ERS deployment. Braking on the curb on the left hand side, clipping the curb on the right, and using up all the track, half the car on the curb on the exit. Again, use all the track you can here. Don't go on this curb too much because it can throw you off. And again, using up all the track you can. You can afford to do it, and if you can afford to do it because it's going to give you more space in real life. It would help you preserve tyres. In the game, it's going to just gain you time. So going on to the back straight, and you can visibly see how much we just caught Stroll straight away. We're 7.5 tenths up on our steering wheel on the previous best lap. Now 9 tenths. We have a lot of oversteer and rich mix. That's the one thing I noticed in rich mix. I was really struggling with the traction, especially. But I wanted to use a bit of fuel because I overfueled the car, as we locked up a tiny bit there. But we're now basically on the back of Stroll, and we're not going to use any more overtake. Using all track again, braking just off the 100-metre board, clipping the curb, Don't go on that curb straight away because it will drag you out. Open the DRS, overtake on, and this should be an easy move, but he was rather quick in the straight line, so I had to use a little bit extra overtake just to make sure I was ahead into turn 1 because I didn't want him diving at the inside. And we brake a little bit later, so he can't get the move done. And now it's his teammate Perez ahead. So can we get this move done in a good place? DRS zone, hopefully. We're not close enough here. And I was hoping he would be a bit quicker than he was because we're going to catch him in a very awkward place on the racetrack. 6 tenths behind, and we've got a lot more grip, so we're 2 tenths up in sector 1, but that doesn't really mean anything because I can tell you it's not going to be our fastest lap this lap because we're going to be battling as we are right behind him, so we are definitely getting affected as we are going quite wide due to the dirty air and just getting really close. And I decided I'm just going to think about going for a move here, pin it in overtake for a bit, not really close enough. So let's just see if we can get him up here, up the hill, going to the outside of the track. Can we get this move done on Perez? He gives us the room on the outside. We're going to have to brake late and go round the outside of Perez. And that's a beautiful move. Into P4, and now it's 4.2 seconds to Bottas ahead. Which, with 4 laps to go, is going to be especially hard because he is very close to Verstappen behind. Not quite in DRS. But yeah, if he can get in it, that'll just probably save him from us because we're going to have good pace. And as you can see here, 3 laps later, we've got the gap from 4.2 to 1.6, so we're gaining like mad. But the problem might have occurred here is Bottas has got DRS off Verstappen, and on this final lap, my tyres had declined a bit, and Bottas just had the DRS from Verstappen to just stretch his legs, so there's no hope really of us getting that position. But I'd say overall a P4 from last in the Renault, first video type like this. That's pretty bad as I say that we almost lose the rear end out the final corner. And yeah, P4 with Ocon. That's not bad. He got a podium in real life. We were 1 position off that in the game. And yeah, hope you guys do enjoy this. Maybe I could do a few more of these. I've got another video planned for potentially the weekend or midweek. I'm not too sure when this is going up. But yeah, I'm going to leave you with the race highlights, and that's it. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.